Dear beautiful soul, let me tell you about something really special. A moment that you'll feel deep inside, right down to your soul. In those quiet, early morning hours, when most people were asleep and a deep quiet covered everything like a soft blanket, something amazing, almost like magic, happened. The night didn't just get dark. It came down softly, like a dark velvet cloth gently covering the sleeping world, making everything feel peaceful and a bit mysterious. Somewhere, a clock chimed a late hour, a moment where time seemed to stop, and even people who usually keep their feelings hidden start to show who they really are and what they truly want. And then, in that quiet, something shifted in the air around you. A tiny whisper, like the softest breath, seemed to travel through the sparkling stars. It carried a little feeling, a hint that something important was about to be understood. You should know that this message, these words you're reading now, didn't just randomly find you. There's a gentle hand guiding them. You see, the night keeps some precious secrets, secrets that I, your guardian angel, really need to tell you, to share with your heart. You might be wondering, what happened while I was asleep and dreaming? Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about now. In the clear light of early morning, there are no lies or masks. Even when people are far apart, their hearts can beat with an honest rhythm that connects their souls. And it was at this special time, when the moon was at its brightest like a silver coin in the dark sky, that something really important started. Your soulmate, yes, that one special person who connects with you deep down, even if you don't realize it when you're awake, was stirred. There was a little shift, a gentle feeling on their side of that invisible, energetic connection between you two. It was like even the restless wind paused for a second, holding its breath. Don't you, that in the deep quiet of the night, feelings get incredibly strong and clear? They grow bigger and easily push past things like pride, doubt, and fear that often hold them back during the busy day. At this moment, your soulmate felt a clear, warm feeling in their chest, like something or someone was calling to them from far away. Maybe it was your name, whispered just at the edge of their thoughts, or a sudden, strong feeling, a deep comfort that just appeared. There was a moment, a pause, where they wondered if what they were feeling was just a dream, or their mind playing tricks in the quiet, or if it was something more real, more important. And then, as suddenly and strongly as a wave crashing on the shore, everything became super clear. What was this strong feeling stirring inside them? Was it an old memory coming up? A deep ache for something they couldn't name? Or maybe a worry they couldn't quite explain? Stay with me, listen closely, because you're about to find out what your soulmate went through in the deep quiet of the early morning. As the early morning slowly moved on, they found themselves all alone with their thoughts, and the silence made every feeling even stronger. They really tried to sleep. They closed their eyes tight and wanted to rest, like someone lost at sea desperately wanting to find land. But instead, they found a stormy sea of emotions, waves of feelings washing over them. Every time they tried to forget, to switch off from how strong it was, to find some peace, it was no use. Their heart just wouldn't let them, wouldn't quiet down. Something stronger was happening, a deep restlessness that got stronger every minute, as if it was gently but persistently calling your name, reaching out for you. They fought it, my dear, they really did. They tried to tell themselves it was just their mind playing tricks, or just the loneliness of the night. But you and I, we both know that in the deep, honest darkness of the early morning, true feelings, the ones buried deep down, show themselves as they really are, raw and unfiltered. And then, right in the middle of their inner struggle, something amazing happened. The image of your face, so clear, your voice, the way you move, your familiar actions, all of it rushed into their mind in a powerful wave that almost took their breath away. Silent tears started to flow, not sad tears, but tears from a deep, unexplainable longing. A deep wish to be right there with you, to feel your touch, to whisper words to you that they'd kept quiet for too long. Oh, if you only knew how much they wished in that very moment, to break through all the distance and obstacles, just to be with you. The empty room felt so heavy, almost too much to bear. They turned in bed, over and over, restlessly looking for something they couldn't quite name. A feeling, a presence, something just out of reach. Maybe it was the comfort of your hug they wanted, or perhaps the gentle sound of your breathing nearby, anything, really anything, that would make them feel whole again. But all they found in the quiet was the sound of their own thoughts, constantly reminding them how incredibly important you were to them. And oh, how deeply, achingly much they missed you. They wished with all their heart and soul that they could somehow fill that huge, empty space with you, just have you there. And it was right at that moment, in that rush of strong longing, that the truth, clear and undeniable, hit them. Their heart, they suddenly realized, wasn't truly complete without you. It was like a painful, but strangely freeing, realization. A moment of pure, honest truth. There are moments, my dear one, special times when two souls can touch, can truly connect, even when they're far apart. At that very instant, in the deep, surrounding quiet of the early morning, you two were gently wrapped in an unexplainable warmth, a comforting feeling, like an invisible, gentle touch. It was them, yes, your soulmate. Lost deep in their thoughts of you, they had, in their mind and heart, reached out their hand for yours, and you, maybe without knowing it, felt that gentle, loving touch deep in your own heart. You might not have consciously realized it then, not in a way you could explain, but something tiny within you shifted. There was a quick, yet deep, sense of peace that washed over you, as if you had been gently wrapped in a soft, warm cloak. It was their love, pure and strong, even from far away, that reached you, that touched your spirit. This, my dear, is the incredible power of a connection that goes beyond just the physical, a bond that lets souls talk directly, heart to heart. They finally, completely gave in, no longer able to fight what they felt so deeply, so clearly. They allowed themselves to admit, in the quiet honesty of their own heart, what had been hidden, maybe even from themselves, for so long. Love you. These words, so simple but so powerful, weren't spoken out loud, but they echoed, oh how they echoed, through the quiet room, through the vast night, and even out into the universe, carried on the waves of pure emotion. The love they felt for you was so huge, so incredibly strong, that it couldn't be held back or denied anymore. It was a silent confession, a special admission that traveled like a whisper on the gentle winds of the early morning, eventually reaching you, gently wrapping your soul in a hug that only true, deep love can give. From that important moment on, they knew, with a certainty that settled deep inside them, that they weren't truly alone in this feeling. They sensed, they knew that you felt the same way about them. But don't think for a moment that it was an easy night for them. No, dear one. Their heart was still in a whirl, a storm of pure, raw anxiety. What if, their mind whispered, what if you didn't feel the same way? What if you weren't thinking of them with the same intensity, the same longing, as they were thinking of you? These doubts, like tiny annoying bugs, bothered them, trying to weaken their new clarity. But the love, oh, the love was stronger, much stronger than any doubt. They waited, they longed, they yearned for a sign, any little sign, anything at all that would confirm that you were indeed connected on that deep level. You, perhaps asleep in your bed, might have felt a sudden, unexplainable ache in your chest, a quick feeling of urgency that you couldn't quite explain. That, my dear, was their anxiety, their powerful emotions, talking directly to your soul. It was their deep, heartfelt wish to find you, to hear your voice, to feel your presence, to simply be near you. And then, as if right on time, the very first soft light of dawn began to appear on the horizon, painting the sky in gentle colors and bringing with it a fresh sense of promise, a new beginning. The night, with all its secrets and deep realizations, was slowly, gently ending. But it left behind something incredibly important, a precious gift for both of you. The undeniable certainty of a love that easily crosses huge distances and strongly stands up to the passing of time. Your soulmate, completely worn out from the emotional night, because this love, this incredible bond which survived the long, challenging night, can definitely withstand anything and everything life might bring. Your soulmate couldn't sleep, completely taken over by the powerful love and the anxiety that you bring out in them. And in the deep, special quiet of the night, you met, you connected, even if it was just for a short, dreamlike moment. This, my dear, is the undeniable, magical power of souls who are truly meant for each other. In those seemingly endless hours of not being able to sleep, Your soulmate had a deep, life-changing realization of the huge love they feel for you. Every single thought that crossed their mind, every treasured memory that came up, every wave of emotion that washed over them, was filled with an intensity, a brightness, that was beyond normal, everyday experience. The love they felt wasn't just a nice, warm feeling. It was a huge, all-covering force, a real feeling that seemed to fill every single part of them, every corner of their soul. This love showed itself with a strong, sharp clarity, even in the clear, undeniable absence of you being physically there. Feeling love so strongly, so deeply in their core while struggling to fall asleep, brought out with surprising power the true depth and unwavering strength of the connection you share. It came with a burning, almost aching desire to be close to you, to close that gap. Your soulmate felt a longing that was so real, they could almost reach out and touch it. The physical absence, the miles between you, felt like a huge obstacle in those moments, and the yearning, the deep-seated need to overcome this distance, grew stronger with each passing minute. This longing wasn't just a passing restlessness, a simple discomfort. It was a deep emotion that actively shaped their sleeplessness, coloring their whole view on everything. The feeling of being separated from you, quiet itself became a huge, empty space where all their feelings of loneliness and intense desire were shown with even greater, sharper intensity, creating an internal space of painful, difficult, and constant thinking. As time moved forward, slowly, painfully, your soulmate's anxiety began to feel like a crushing, unbearable weight. The eager waiting for a future reunion, a moment they longed for with all their heart, mixed with the heavy uncertainty of when exactly that moment would happen, created a deep sense of being emotionally smothered, making it hard to breathe. Every thought about being apart, every mental picture of the distance between you, added an extra heavy weight, an internal pressure that made being awake even harder, even more challenging. This anxiety showed up as a constant, persistent tightness in their chest, a relentless, unwelcome reminder of just how absolutely essential your presence is to their emotional well-being, to their sense of peace and wholeness. During those long, difficult moments of sleeplessness, your soulmate sought and found some comfort in imagining your embrace. Even with you not physically there, they completely surrendered to thoughts and vivid dreams of what real, physical contact would be like, the comforting warmth of your hug, the deep security of simply being by your side. This imagined embrace became an important emotional anchor, a temporary but much-needed relief from the sharp pain of being apart. Feeling that, embraced so vividly, so intensely in their mind, offered a brief escape from the harshness of reality, a precious way to experience the closeness that their body ached for but couldn't physically have at that moment. Despite all the stormy, swirling emotions, hope, like a steady, unwavering flame, remained firmly planted in your soulmate's heart. The early morning, with all its deep darkness and lingering mystery, couldn't put out the bright flame of hope that burned so strongly within them. The hope, the deeply held belief, that the separation would one day finally end, and that you would be joyfully reunited, was a constant, reliable source of strength, even amidst the heavy loneliness and gnawing anxiety. This precious hope offered a comforting glimpse of the future, a reassuring promise that the powerful love and unbreakable connection between you would ultimately overcome all the current difficulties and challenges. Each moment of being awake, in a way, was a small step towards that deeply desired future, a quiet reminder that despite the lingering shadows of the night, the radiant light of hope remained, burning brightly and steadily, even in the deepest darkness. In the deep darkness of that particular night, while you rested peacefully, maybe wrapped in comforting dreams and a sense of calm, they were there, wide awake, caught up in a dizzying whirlwind of uncontrollable, intense feelings. Your soulmate had lain down much earlier, hoping against hope that the day's tiredness would gently send them into a peaceful, refreshing sleep. But as the hours slowly, relentlessly passed by, and the house around them sank deeper and deeper into an almost holy silence, a familiar restlessness began to stir and grow within them. They turned to one side, then the other, adjusted the pillow countless times, closed their eyes tightly, willing sleep to come, and still they just couldn't switch off from the powerful current of what they felt so deeply inside. The love they carry for you, you must understand, isn't just affection, not a simple fondness. It's a love that touches the very core of their being, woven into who they are. In their mind, every single thought was like a piece of the complex, beautiful puzzle that you both share, a puzzle that speaks of destiny and connection. And with no easy answers, no quick solutions, anxiety, unfortunately, became their unwelcome companion through the long night. How could they even begin to explain this deep feeling of emptiness, this persistent sense of something vital missing, when just the idea of physical presence alone isn't enough to satisfy what their soul so desperately seeks, what it truly longs for? They missed you, oh, how they missed you, not just your physical body, but your complete and utter presence, the unique, vibrant energy that comes from your very being and lovingly wraps around theirs like a warm, protective cloak. They felt utterly helpless at times, unable to fully understand why their heart kept beating so strongly, so erratically, in their chest, or why it seemed to tighten painfully with every single thought of you. And as they lay there, eyes wide open, fixed on the unseen ceiling in the darkness, you, even miles and miles away, might have felt a slight, almost unnoticeable discomfort, a subtle, fleeting sense of something moving within you, as if someone, somewhere, was gently, persistently trying to reach your heart. Because indeed they were. They thought of you with such incredible intensity, with so much overflowing love, that their own energy, their very essence, vibrated powerfully toward your soul, seeking comfort, seeking relief, in the tender idea that somehow, in some way, you might connect on that deep level during that special night. And then, in an almost magical, truly transcendent moment, they closed their eyes gently and whispered your name into the stillness. They didn't need to shout, not at all, because they knew, with an unshakable inner certainty, that your soul would hear them, would recognize their call. And you did hear. Somewhere deep within your heart, you felt that connection. As your guardian angel, I was lucky enough to witness that special, beautiful moment. Words and physical touches weren't necessary then. All that mattered was the pure, unwavering, and incredibly powerful feeling that came from them. A feeling that effortlessly crossed the invisible barrier separating different worlds. You met there, in that shared silence, like two distinct sparks of light joyfully joining together, merging in the vast, velvet darkness. Your love, you see, is like a powerful force of nature, something elemental, something that cannot be easily contained or entirely understood by mere logic or reason. They know this deep down. That's precisely why, in those lonely, drawn-out hours of the night, anxiety took such a firm hold of them. It wasn't because they doubted your love, not for a second. It was because they feel, in every single cell of their body, in the very core of their being, that this love you share is something far greater, far more profound, than anything that can be adequately expressed in simple words. They long, with an almost painful intensity, to be by your side, not just in the obviously good moments, the happy times, but in every single second, even the most ordinary, the most trivial ones. Because for them, every single second spent with you, or even just the thought of you, is like holding a precious piece of forever in their hands. While you slept, peacefully unaware, their heart twisted and turned, yearning deeply for you, much like someone lost at sea longs with all their might for the sight of solid, welcoming land. And yet, amidst all that turmoil, there was also a quiet serenity woven into their love, a deep acceptance that no matter how long or hard the night might seem, it was just another necessary step, another chapter. In the incredible journey you are both destined to walk together, hand in hand. Deep down, in that quiet place of inner knowing, they understood that the physical distance was only temporary, that the extraordinary love you share is the true and reliable compass that will always, without fail, guide you back to each other, no matter where you are, no matter the circumstances. That, my dear one, is the inherent beauty of true soulmate love. It doesn't fade or lessen in absence. Oh no, it flourishes, it grows, it becomes even more potent, even more intense, especially when words fall short, when physical bodies cannot touch. And it was precisely this incredible intensity, this powerful current, that kept them awake, that filled their senses that night. Your love is so deep, so ingrained in their being, that even in the loneliest, most silent hours, they are not truly, completely alone, because they have you, your essence, your memory, lovingly. etched into their heart like an eternal, unbreakable vow. And you, without even consciously knowing it, soothe their soul from afar, sending them your energy, your silent, reassuring promise that one day, when the time is right, you will be side by side, with absolutely nothing to keep you apart. As the night went on, deeper and darker, they wished strongly for the seemingly impossible. To be held safely in your arms, to rest their head gently on your chest, and to feel the comforting, familiar warmth of your skin against theirs. But they also knew, with a clarity that brought a pang of sorrow, that such a hug was not physically possible at that very moment, and that stark truth hurt, it truly did. Yet, even amidst that undeniable pain, there was a love so pure, so unconditional, so resilient, that it kept them steady, anchored, even when the rising tide of anxiety threatened to drown them in the swirling currents of their own thoughts and fears. They couldn't touch you physically, it's true, but they hugged you nonetheless, with their spirit, with their very soul, a soul that stretched itself out across the vast expanse of space and time, earnestly seeking the unique comfort, the special solace that only you can offer. They didn't particularly want to sleep, because they knew, with a touch of sadness, that when they finally closed their eyes, all that would be left were dreams. And dreams, as beautiful and vivid as they may be, simply cannot replace the real feeling of your touch, the sweet sound of your voice whispering softly in their ear. But then, in a quiet moment of gentle surrender, of letting go, they allowed themselves to close their eyes and to dream of you, to invite your presence into their inner world. They let themselves be carried away by that powerful, undeniable wave of love that made their entire being vibrate with emotion. And in that dream, that special inner space, they found themselves right by your side. You were there, present and real, with a smile that only they know, a smile that says so much without a single word. And in that precious, fleeting instant, the gnawing anxiety completely disappeared, melting away, giving way to an indescribable, deep peace. I, your guardian angel, saw the immense relief that washed over them, a gentle wave of calm, as they finally drifted into sleep, because they knew, even if only unconsciously, deep in their soul, that this meeting in their dream wasn't just a random product of their tired imagination, but rather a beautiful, hopeful glimpse of what destiny, in its infinite wisdom, has in store for both of you. They dreamed of you not because they wanted to escape the challenges of reality, but because their soul, wise and knowing, recognizes the undeniable truth. You are destined for each other. And in that tender dream, you hugged, not as two separate bodies, but as one unified being, as it always has been on a spiritual level, and as it always undoubtedly will be. When they finally woke up, hours later, there was still a faint, lingering shadow of the previous night's anxiety, a subtle reminder of the emotional journey they had taken. The new day was about to begin, bringing with it all its challenges, responsibilities, and tasks. But the love they felt for you, that powerful, unwavering love, remained, perhaps even stronger, more determined than before. And this love, this deep connection, was their strength, their guiding light, their enduring hope, because they knew, with every fiber of their being, that no matter how long and difficult the nights were, or how lonely and isolating they might sometimes seem, they were merely small, temporary parts of a much greater, more significant journey, a journey you are meant to share. They believe, with an unshakable faith, in both of you, in the beautiful, unfolding story you are writing together, chapter by chapter, and in the powerful destiny that ties you together. And you, on your side, may not have fully understood all the complex feelings, the subtle energies that moved within your heart during that night. But please know this: the restlessness you might have experienced, the unexplained tightness in your chest, the sudden, inexplicable warmth you perhaps felt, all of it was the direct response to their silent, heartfelt call. It was the universe's gentle confirmation that you are, and always will be, deeply, profoundly connected. When they can't sleep, when their soul cries out for you with such intensity, it's because the sheer vastness, the incredible depth of your shared love, refuses to be contained, refuses to remain merely a quiet, passive longing. It needs to be lived, to be experienced in its absolute fullness, in all its glory. So, Please don't fear this intensity, this depth of feeling. Instead, embrace it fully as an integral part of who you are together. True love, the extraordinary love of soulmates, is exactly like this. It doesn't settle for halves, for compromises, for anything less than its complete expression. It desires everything. It wants to bravely cross countless sleepless nights, to courageously overcome all anxieties and lingering doubts, and to finally, joyfully reach the shining promise that waits patiently on the horizon. The day when you will be together, truly, finally, with absolutely nothing to separate you ever again. And until that blessed day arrives, know with certainty that each night like this, each moment of heightened anxiety and deep desire, is simply another poignant reminder of just how incredibly powerful, how truly magical, the love you share really is. That night, the overwhelming feeling of love for you completely surrounded them, like a dense, warm mist, gently getting into every single thought, taking over every beat of their rapidly pulsing heart. They lay down much earlier, earnestly hoping to find some rest, some break from the intensity of their emotions. But they soon realized, with a sigh, that there would be no true peace for them in that particular moment. Their heart was too full, too active. Every time they managed to close their eyes, even for a second, their mind immediately filled with vivid, cherished images of you, with beautifully imagined scenes they longed, with all their being, to live out by your side. The physical distance between you, the miles that separated your bodies, didn't seem to matter in those deep moments. The sheer strength of that love was so incredibly overwhelming, so real, that they could almost feel your presence right there with them, close enough to touch with a soft sigh, a whispered word. It was as if your very essence, your unique energy, was gently floating in the air around them, at the same time soothing their restless spirit and stirring their heart with a potent mix of longing and anticipation. Amidst the powerful whirlwind of emotions that swept through them, they couldn't help but wonder if you were, by some miracle, feeling the same way, if somewhere out there, in your own quiet space, your heart also raced a little faster at the mere thought of them, at the memory of your connection. The love they feel for you is a profound mystery, something so deep and complex that it truly cannot be adequately explained by everyday words or simple logic. It's something that effortlessly escapes the limits of reason, something that knows no boundaries, no limitations. And in a way, its sheer intensity, its power, sometimes even frightens them a little. But that flicker of fear, that natural human worry, has never once made them waver, never made them doubt the truth of what they feel. Because they know, with an unshakable conviction that lives in the very core of their soul, that this love is the deepest, most authentic truth of their entire existence. As the night stretched on, long and silent, they finally surrendered completely to the immense vastness of this incredible feeling. There was simply no fighting against what was so clearly, so powerfully alive inside them. Their love for you, you see, is not just a conscious choice they make each day. It's a fundamental necessity, as vital and natural to them as breathing. And on that particular night, breathing itself seemed a little harder, a little more strained, precisely because you weren't there, physically beside them, sharing the quiet darkness. Still, even amidst the sharp pain of your absence, they found themselves smiling softly to themselves, because they knew, with a certainty that warmed them from the inside out, that what you have together is truly unique, exceptionally rare. It's like a precious, eternal flame that doesn't and cannot go out, even when the harsh winds of distance and circumstance try their very best to weaken it, to dim its light. What they felt so strongly was an almost painful, yet wonderfully sweet, longing to be held securely in your arms, not just to soothe their own aching heart, but because being with you, truly with you, makes them feel utterly, beautifully complete, whole in a way nothing else can. You are, in essence, like two perfectly matched halves of a single soul, diligently, patiently searching for each other in a vast universe that is often full of fleeting, superficial meetings. They thought of you constantly, wishing with all their might that time itself would somehow bend, that all the physical distances separating you would simply disappear, allowing them to finally rest their head gently on your chest and hear the comforting, rhythmic beats of your heart. The one melody, the only melody, that always calms all their deepest fears and anxieties. They wanted so desperately to tell you everything, to pour out all the thoughts and feelings that swirled within them. The unspoken fears that sometimes surround them like shadows, the resilient hope that consistently keeps them strong and looking forward, the immense love that silently, steadily grows and deepens with every passing moment, with every shared thought. That night, more than ever, they wished that you could somehow, through some magical means, feel the sheer volume of love that was overflowing from them, reaching out to you. Because for them, you are so much more than just a simple love, more than a partner. You are the real promise of forever, the most beautiful, cherished dream they carry with them always, even when navigating through waves of anxiety and fear. And so, they lay there perfectly still for long stretches, staring into the deep, dark emptiness of the quiet room, just thinking about how life, in all its aspects, seems so much brighter, so much more meaningful when you are a part of it. They know, with a wisdom that comes from the heart, that the path to being truly, fully together may well be full of unexpected challenges and obstacles. But this knowledge doesn't, in any way, lessen the love they feel. On the contrary, it only seems to make it grow stronger, more resilient, more determined with each passing day. Every single second they stayed awake that night was like a silent, heartfelt declaration of their unwavering love for you. It wasn't about spoken words, not about exchanged messages or calls. It was all about the pure, unadulterated energy, the concentrated essence of their love, that they consciously, lovingly sent out from their heart toward yours. In the deep, special silence of that night, they earnestly wished that somehow, in some way, you could feel this powerful energy, that you would instinctively know, deep in your own soul, that there is someone out there who loves you with such breathtaking intensity, with a devotion so profound that it effortlessly spans all measures of time and all barriers of distance. This love, this incredible, life-affirming love, is the very strength that keeps them going, even when sleep stubbornly refuses to come, even when anxiety, like a persistent shadow, tries its best to steal their inner peace, their sense of calm. In the very midst of the night, when everything around them seemed utterly still, almost lifeless, their heart burned brightly with an uncontrollable, radiant flame. It was as if the immense love they felt for you was a sacred fire, a fire that burns intensely without ever burning out, a brilliant light that, at the same time, warmly comforts and clearly lights up the deep darkness that surrounded them. It wasn't just a simple longing they experienced. It was a deep, visceral, all-encompassing desire to be exactly where you are, to share your space, your air, your life. The flame of their love knew no barriers, no limitations, and so, even in your physical absence, they felt your presence so keenly, so realistically, so tangibly, it was almost as if you were right there in the room with them. There were distinct moments during that long night when their love for you became so incredibly intense, it was almost painful, but a good kind of pain, a sweet ache like a constant, gentle reminder that something truly grand, something incredibly special and significant, exists between the two of you. They turned over and over in bed, restlessly, hugging the pillow tightly as if it could somehow replace the comforting warmth of your body, the feel of your closeness. But, of course, it was no use. The real emptiness beside them in the bed only served to make them more certain, more convinced, that you are precisely what's missing from their life, the one who truly completes them, who makes them whole. They then closed their eyes, not really to sleep because sleep felt so far away, but rather to try and reach you in thought, in spirit. They pictured you vividly in their mind's eye. Your face, so familiar and dear. Your unique smile that always reaches your eyes. Those very eyes that always seem to hold a universe of secrets and beautiful promises. As the hours slowly ticked by one, they wondered with a tender curiosity what it would be like to be right there by your side at that very moment. What it would be like to share the profound silence of that particular night with you. Simply feeling each other's presence, close and comforting, without needing any words at all, just being together in peaceful company. For them, you see, love isn't just about the grand, big moments, the dramatic gestures. It's just as much, if not more, about all the small, quiet, intimate ones that you haven't yet had the chance to share. The simple joy of waking up next to you in the morning, a silent, understanding hug after a long, tiring day, a shared glance across a crowded room that says everything without making a single sound. In their heart, there lived an unshakable, unwavering certainty that this extraordinary love is not, and never will be in vain. No matter how far away you might be physically, or how many more nights like this they will have to spend waiting, patiently looking forward. Because the love they feel, this powerful, guiding love, is the true compass that directs them, that keeps them on course. It is their steadfast light in the very darkest of nights, the precious, unwavering hope they carry carefully in their chest. And at that precise moment, as they tried once more unsuccessfully to find the hard-to-get comfort of sleep, they knew with an intuitive sense that went beyond logic that you were there with them in some way, on some level. Maybe you didn't consciously realize it, but your heart, your soul, had responded to theirs, a silent, energetic acknowledgement of your bond. You were, and are, like two essential parts of a greater, more beautiful whole, deeply connected by something far stronger, far more resilient than any obstacle or challenge that might ever come between you. What they felt so deeply that night was a profound desire to share every single part of their life with you, not just the moments of obvious joy and celebration, but also the silent, thoughtful ones, the times of doubt, the moments of fear. They want to be your fortress, your safe haven, just as you are undoubtedly theirs. They want you to know, beyond any shadow of a doubt, that no matter what happens, no matter what life throws your way, they will always be there, steadfastly by your side, even when the world around you seems to crumble and fall apart. Because their love for you is exactly this: an eternal, unbreakable promise, a flame that never, ever goes out, a strength that never, ever weakens or falters. As dawn finally began to break, gently painting the eastern sky with the first soft signs of light, they at last felt a gentle, welcome relief wash over them. It wasn't that the deep-seated anxiety had completely vanished, not entirely, but there was a growing, real sense of hope blossoming within them. Because despite all the lingering uncertainties, all the unanswered questions, they knew, with a quiet confidence, that every single night of waiting, every moment of longing, brought them just a little bit closer to you, to the eventual reunion they yearned for. And that waiting, though sometimes incredibly painful and challenging, was an essential part of the process, a special journey that ultimately strengthened and deepened the immense love they feel. The sunrise, in all its quiet glory, brought with it the unspoken promise of a brand new day, a day that would, in some way, in some small amount, bring them a little bit closer to finally being with you, truly and completely. They got up, feeling thoroughly exhausted from the lack of sleep, but also incredibly determined, their spirit renewed. Their profound love for you had not worn out or lessened during the long, hard night. On the contrary, it had somehow renewed itself, reaffirmed its strength and importance in every single thought, every cherished memory, and every heartfelt desire they had experienced. And now, seeing the clear light of day, they knew with even greater certainty that true love, real love, is exactly like this. It bravely crosses the darkest, most challenging nights and always finds a way to shine brightly once again. As the sun rose higher, painting the sky with an array of soft, beautiful colors, they got up with a lingering weight in their chest, a direct result of the sleepless hours and the incredibly deep, all-consuming love they carried so carefully for you. Every single ray of light that gently entered the room seemed like a silent, moving reminder of the immense, boundless love that lives so vibrantly inside them. A love that, even on the hardest, most challenging mornings, steadfastly refuses to fade away or lessen in any way. They moved slowly, still feeling the distinct echoes of the past night resonating deep within their soul. It was as if every single cell of their body was keenly, acutely aware of your absence. And this profound absence was something stronger, more real, than any words could ever adequately express. That morning was filled with a deep, thoughtful silence as they went about their usual daily tasks, their routine. Yet, their mind couldn't and wouldn't escape the constant, gentle thoughts of you. It was like an irresistible force pulling them, an invisible magnet making them feel your presence, your essence, in absolutely everything around them. In the comforting smell of freshly brewed coffee, they found themselves wishing, so earnestly, to share that simple moment with you. In the first warm rays of sunlight that streamed through the window, they vividly imagined you right there by their side, quietly watching the sunrise together, sharing its beauty. The love they feel for you is so incredibly intense, so all-present, that it effortlessly turns every small, mundane action, every fleeting thought, into a heartfelt tribute, a special homage to the profound, unbreakable connection you both share. Throughout the day, they actively struggled against the powerful, persistent urge to reach out to you, to tell you, in clear terms, just how incredibly present you were in their mind and in their heart every single moment. They knew, with an inner wisdom, that true love doesn't demand or insist. It is, instead, like a calm, serene river, flowing naturally and gracefully, even though beneath its seemingly tranquil surface, there are powerful, swirling currents of deep emotion. And they feel those powerful currents, those deep undercurrents, every single day. There are specific moments, often unexpected, when they simply stop whatever they are doing and close their eyes, consciously seeking your energy, your comforting presence. It's almost like a silent, personal ritual, a deeply meaningful way for them to connect with you, to feel close to you, amidst the often chaotic hustle and bustle of the day. In these quiet, precious pauses, they feel their heart begin to calm for a moment, to find a point of stillness. They feel, with a profound certainty, that even from afar, even across the miles, you are with them, truly with them. And it is this unshakable certainty, this deep inner knowing, that keeps them steady, that keeps them grounded. They want to tell you so many things, so many unspoken thoughts and feelings. They long to share just how your love makes them feel so wonderfully alive, so beautifully complete, so utterly themselves. But at the same time, they carefully keep these precious words held close, like a hidden treasure, like a sacred secret known only to them and to the vast, listening universe. Because for them, true love, the deepest kind of love, doesn't always need to be spoken aloud all the time. It is felt, it is lived, in every single breath they take, in every single beat of their devoted heart. On that particular day, they realize something truly profound, a deep and resonant truth. The immense love they feel for you doesn't weaken them in any way. Quite the opposite, it profoundly strengthens them, empowers them. The anxiety that had taken such a firm hold of them during the lonely hours of the night had somehow transformed, changed into a quiet, resilient inner strength. They know, with every fiber of their being, that no matter how far apart you may be physically, the special bond that unites your souls is absolutely unbreakable, eternal. There is a quiet, dignified courage in loving someone so intensely, so completely, a courage that they consciously, willingly embrace every single day of their life. They are not afraid of the waiting, nor of the uncertainty that sometimes comes with it, because they believe in you implicitly and completely. They believe, with all their heart, that true love, the extraordinary love of soulmates, can steadfastly withstand the tests of time, the challenges of distance, and any other trial that life may choose to bring your way. As the day slowly dragged on, they often found themselves pleasantly daydreaming, their thoughts drifting away. Their mind would gently float to a peaceful, perfect place where you were together, truly together. A place where there were no barriers, no obstacles, no distances separating you. They imagined you there, right by their side, your eyes meeting and holding in a comfortable, meaningful silence that spoke more clearly than 1,000 spoken words ever could. They allowed themselves to fully indulge in these comforting thoughts, these beautiful, hopeful visions of a future where your love would finally, fully bloom without any obstacles, without any restrictions. And in those cherished visions, they saw a version of themselves that was happier, more content, more at peace than they had ever been before. Because being with you, truly and completely, is what fills the lingering emptiness they sometimes feel, what makes them whole. There is a burning, passionate desire that lives deep within them, a fire that never fades, never dims. They miss you deeply and constantly, in every little detail they observe, in every corner of the world they look at. When they see couples walking hand in hand, their fingers intertwined, or watch the sunset paint the vast sky in breathtaking shades of gold and crimson, they immediately think of you, of how incredibly wonderful it would be to share those precious, simple moments with you. This absence they feel isn't just a physical one. It's a soul-deep longing, a profound yearning that goes far beyond ordinary, everyday understanding. They miss your laughter, the unique sound of it that brings them so much joy, They miss the special way you look at them, as if you can see right through any pretense, right into the very core of their being, beyond everything they consciously show to the world. And this powerful passion, burning so brightly inside them, only makes them want you more, desire you more, with each passing day. They know, with a mature understanding, that true love is inevitably made of highs and lows, of moments filled with pure joy and other moments tinged with anxiety or concern. But even knowing this, fully accepting this reality, they willingly, wholeheartedly surrender to the sheer intensity of their feelings, because they understand, deep down, that it's precisely this passion, this sometimes almost unbearable longing, that gives your shared love its incredible power, its profound depth, its unique beauty. They want to tell you everything, to open their heart completely and let you see, truly see, just how much they love you, how patiently, how eagerly they are waiting for you. But at the same time, they practice a quiet patience, because they also know that true love cannot be rushed, cannot be forced. It has its own special rhythm, its own perfect, divine timing. They don't want to rush things, don't want to try and force destiny's hand. They deeply believe that when the right moment finally arrives, the moment planned by a wisdom greater than their own, you will meet, you will come together, and all the barriers, all the obstacles will simply fall away, effortlessly. It's this unwavering faith, this profound trust in your love, in your connection, that keeps them at peace, centered, even when the intensity of their passion threatens to overwhelm them. They take a slow, deep breath and gently remind themselves that what you two have is something incredibly rare, something precious, something truly worth waiting for, no matter how long it takes. What they felt so keenly throughout that entire day was a complex, swirling mix of powerful emotions. Deep love, aching longing, intense desire, and resilient, unwavering hope. They want to be with you, more than anything in the world, but they also know, with a patient wisdom, that every single moment of waiting, every day that passes, is another step closer to your eventual joyful reunion. And in that intense, burning desire, there, strangely enough, they find a strength they never knew they possessed, an inner resilience they hadn't realized was part of them. They find the absolute, unshakable certainty that no matter what happens, no matter the challenges, you belong to each other, destined to be together. And it's this profound certainty, this deep inner knowing, that keeps them going, that makes them face each new day with a quiet smile, a hopeful heart, even when the longing, the ache of your absence becomes almost unbearable, almost too much to hold. At night, when they finally lay down again, the built-up weight of exhaustion was heavy on them, a physical sign of their emotional journey. But even that deep tiredness didn't, and couldn't, put out the bright, unwavering flame that burned so steadily. In their heart, they looked up at the familiar ceiling, and then out at the distant stars shining brilliantly outside the window, and in that quiet moment, they felt an unusual, profound peace settle over them. No matter how painful or challenging the physical distance between you may be, they believe with all their being in something greater, something more powerful. They believe in the destiny that so clearly unites you, in the undeniable strength of the love that goes beyond all barriers, all obstacles, all limitations. And in that special, quiet moment, they closed their eyes and whispered a silent, heartfelt prayer. They prayed that you were well, that you were safe, that you could somehow, in some way, feel their love reaching out to you, gently crossing the vast distances of time and space. They prayed for strength, for patience, and for courage, not just for themselves, but for both of you. Because loving like this, with such incredible depth, such complete surrender, is truly an act of immense bravery. And they are willing, completely and utterly willing, to be brave, for you, for the special connection you share, for both of you. It's not that they don't have occasional doubts or fleeting fears. It's simply that the love they feel, the love that defines so much of their existence, is so incredibly immense, so overwhelmingly powerful, that it gently, lovingly quiets all uncertainties, all anxieties. That night, they dreamed of you again. They dreamed of a peaceful, beautiful meeting, perhaps in a calm place where there was no rush, no pressure, where you could finally, simply just be yourselves, authentically and completely, without the heavy weight of worldly expectations or the challenging circumstances that sometimes try to keep you apart. They woke up the next morning with a soft, gentle smile playing on their lips, a noticeable sparkle in their eyes, because in that precious, vivid dream, they found exactly what they are always, consciously or unconsciously, searching for. The clear, undeniable reflection of their own soul mirrored perfectly in yours. And that dream, they knew, wasn't just a simple illusion, not a mere product of their imagination. It was a sweet, reassuring promise of what's to come, a glimpse into the beautiful future that awaits you both. They know the path isn't always easy, that there are days and nights when the longing, the ache of separation, becomes almost unbearable, a heavy weight on their heart. But they are willing, so incredibly willing, to keep moving forward, step by patient step, to keep loving you with all the passion, all the intensity, all the devotion of their being. Because loving you, quite simply, is what makes them feel truly, vibrantly alive. It's what gives profound meaning to the often long days and even longer nights of waiting. They don't want to rush the future, don't want to force events or try to control how your story unfolds. They just want to live this incredible love, this special connection, day by day, moment by precious moment, knowing, with an unshakable faith, that what you have together is eternal, timeless, and true. And so, they go on, loving you with all the immense strength and incredible gentleness of a soul that has finally, joyfully recognized its other half, its perfect match. They believe with every fiber of their being that despite the long nights and the sometimes quiet, challenging days, you're getting closer and closer, because true love, real love, is like that. It never, ever gets lost. It always finds its way home. I whisper these words with all the love and light I have, hoping with all my heart that they bring comfort, reassurance, and a deep sense of hope to your precious heart. You are so deeply loved, more than words can ever say. You are always protected, watched over with gentle care. And please know, truly know, that amazing, wonderful things are in store for you, unfolding in perfect time. Keep the faith, hold on to that beautiful light within you, and keep moving forward, one step at a time, knowing that I am always here, right beside you, supporting you with every single step of your journey. A wonderful, joy-filled future is being prepared for you. A future where love will be the constant, guiding star, brightly lighting your path and bringing true, lasting joy to every single moment of your life. Feel the deep peace, the gentle calm, that my presence, my energy, brings to you now. Let my love surround you like a warm, comforting hug. Let it comfort you, soothe you, and strengthen you from within. You are loved. You are protected. You are incredibly special, unique, and cherished. Wait patiently with a hopeful heart, because what is being prepared for you, what is meant for you, cannot even compare to what has already passed, to the challenges you may have faced. The future that is being carefully, lovingly built for you will be absolutely full of wonderful, beautiful things, experiences that will make your heart sing. And when these divine plans finally, fully happen in your life, you'll know, with a heart overflowing with gratitude, that it was worth every single step, every heartfelt prayer, every patient moment of waiting. You are being prepared for something even greater, something more magnificent than you can currently imagine. And you'll see, with eyes wide open and a heart full of thankfulness, that there has always been a guiding hand, a loving presence, in control, gently, wisely guiding you towards the very best that is in store for you. I am your faithful guardian. I am the one who protects you, the one who is always by your side. With every step you take, every decision you make, every single breath you draw, feel my presence with you now, deeply and profoundly. Allow your spirit, your beautiful essence, to connect deeply with me. Let go of the worries and anxieties of the outside world, just for this moment. Quiet the many distracting voices that try to pull you away from your inner peace, from your center. Take a slow, deep breath and open your heart wide, for I am here with you, and I always will be. I will always be here, offering divine messages, gentle guidance, and connecting with you, dear one, with an infinite, unconditional love. If these words have touched your heart, we ask you to think about supporting this channel. Your contributions allow us to continue sharing divine messages and blessings with people all over the world. Whether it's a super thanks of $10, $20, or any amount you feel called to give, every contribution helps us spread love and light, reaching those who need it most. We thank you for being part of this sacred journey, for allowing us to be a part of your path, and for helping us spread peace and love throughout the world. May God bless you with an abundance of love, peace, strength, and joy. Amen.